are not the same. In the army, we are Africans. Louder. Africans, we rise. We are Africans. Louder. Africans, we unite. We are Africans. Rise up, rise up, rise up.
Let's come together with one family. Let's make history from today. JJC, I'm from Nigeria. It doesn't matter to leave anywhere, Jira. And if you have no fear, don't stand and stare. Put your fist in the air. All I wanna hear is we are Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Zimbabwe. Yeah, we are Africans. Hear you. We are Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Come on, Africans.
Yo, as soon as I said foot on African soil, that's when I get in touch with African style. The Africans and show me African smile. African talent that are well versatile. See the African very calling artists, African the wisest, African the smartest, the mentor, the voice and the juice of the art. Zimbabwe, we are the big boss.
Listen up. Slanging at the nation, back again with the remix selection. From London to Zimbabwe, all the Africans know we stop the party. And if you know it, put one hand in the air. Scream and shout like you just don't care. African people, if you're strong and proud, repeat after me and say
Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Zimbabwe. Yeah, we are Africans. We are Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Africans.
I am an African child. Zimbabwe is where I be from. They be checking my style, my swag, my flow. Can't push me cause I know I'm sweet. Got diamonds and gold in Africa. Rhythm and blues in Africa. Beautiful women in Africa.
Yes, I'm from Zimbabwe. All of my trade in the street of Ferrari. But I was born in Mazingo, and that's why me talking a lingo. Impai, Kanaga Nyimbo, Mripam with Jete. Now PK, Kaz and JJC with one big family. Because we
are Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Zimbabwe. Yeah, we are Africans. We are Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Come on, Africans.
Me a roll out the ghetto, me a youth from Africa. King Selassie rule from out of Africa. The best body girl come from Africa. All the diamonds and gold from Africa. 27 years him spent in the prison just to liberate people in Africa. Nelson Mandela. From Nigeria to Zimbabwe, UK back to Africa.
we never culture rare as the Nile. Everybody on the African style. Our music make you go wild. I know you get it, get it. We flex, we dress to impress. We call for the best, put us to the test. And it ain't no stress, no settle for less. Cause we are Africa.
Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Zimbabwe. Yeah, we are Africans. We are Africans. Louder. We are Africans.
Africans, we rise for the prize. Africans, we rise, ain't no lies. Africans, we rise, yes we rise. I won't tell no lie, we will rise. Even though we spread out all over the world. Africa, you know how we roll forever. Home is in our heart and we never parted. Wherever we go, we walk, we talk, we spread the love to let the world that we
are Africans.
in the army,
Africans.
in the army, in the army. I wanna hear you say,
Africans.
in the army, I'm not the same. In the army, I wanna hear you say,
Africans. Louder.
Africans, we rise.
We are Africans. Louder.
Africans, we unite.
We are Africans.
Rise up, rise up,
We
rise
are
up.
Africans. JJC. This all is gonna come back. Oh history from today. JJC, I'm from Nigeria. It doesn't matter to leave anywhere, Jira. And if you have no fear, don't stand and stare. Put your fist in the air. All I wanna hear is we are Africans. We are Africans. We are Africans. Zimbabwe. Yeah, we are Africans. We are Africans. We are Africans. Come on, Africans.
As soon as I said foot on African soil, that's when I get in touch with African style. The Africans and show me African smile. African talent that are well versatile. See African very recording artists, African devices, African the smart.
Good morning! After5Radio welcomes you to another brand new day.
These beats are hot. In the mix with the baddest DJ.
Hey yo, this is your boy KDV, cool to the voice, and you're listening to Tough Love Givers with the hype lady, Tano Emmy, all the way in Canada. Stay tuned to After5 Radio.
Now, here comes the music.
After5 Radio.
Anto Amy is who you're tuned into right now here on After5 Radio on Tough Love and Giggles.
After5 Radio.
All right. I don't know if you can hear me. Oh, yes, I can hear myself, so I'm guessing you can hear me. But anyway, sorry for the technical difficulties. Oh, my gosh, this can be so frustrating. But we are here, never giving up, because guess what? The devil is a liar. Anyway, welcome to another exciting episode of Tough Love Giggles on your go-to online radio station, After5 Radio. I'm dedicated to celebrating Africans in the diaspora. With that being said, happy Africa Day in advance to my motherland, Africa, because Africa Day is on tomorrow. Africa Day is tomorrow. But anyway, I am your host, aka the hype lady, Miss Tando Amy. Those who are tuning in for the very first time, thank you so much for tuning in. I know today we're not going to be able to be live on Instagram because of the technical issues. But anyway, nonetheless, we shall, hopefully you're able to listen in and watch through Facebook, LinkedIn. No, LinkedIn didn't work. And then YouTube. And then, we'll figure out the rest for next week in advance. I don't know what happened. But anyway, today I am actually reconnecting with a guest who continues to evolve right before our eyes. He is a powerhouse of talent, an actor, martial artist, entrepreneur, and now one of the captivating voices in the audible film Sacrilege. Last week, we actually got to hang out with one of the cast members who's part of it as well, entitled Curse of the Mbiri. He's also, from community projects to creative ventures. This man wears so many hats and he wears them really well. So he's been working on a signature perfume. I'm sure you actually follow him on social media where you've seen him putting it all out there. And I'm like, dude, do we catch up now or should we catch up later? But he's also making waves in the voiceover work, and he continues to represent Zimbabwean excellence on screen and beyond. With that being said, help me to welcome the multi-talented Tendai Maduwa back on After5 Radio. Tendai, yo, bro, welcome.
I was
getting frustrated, but we're here. We thank God for that.
All right. How are you, Tando? How are you, listeners and viewers? I'm pretty well. I have a smile on my face, and I thank God for the gift of life. More importantly, for the gift of community like After5 Radio and you and many other. So I'm delighted to be here again.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's just dive right into it since we're running way behind time. So as always, it's always a pleasure to have you here, Tendai, but you've had such an eventful season. The first time we got to know you and to hang out here on After5 Radio, you had just opened a school and an acting academy, right? Back home. And so how has life been since we last caught up?
You know, like you rightfully said, it's all about evolving. You know, every day, every minute, our main goal is to become better than we were yesterday. Not better than anybody else, but better, or the better versions of ourselves every other day. So really, the school has been great. Um, yeah, we literally had a very successful sessions with the students. We gave scholarships. We gave scholarships to 15 students
Oh, nice.
for, you know, the entire 1 year program. It was more or less like, you know, a pilot project then, where we wanted to see how that goes. So we had successful students successfully graduated, and, you know, some of them have launched careers. Some of them are still trying to find their footing. So ours is to first, you know, give them capacitation and then facilitate for them to get opportunities. So we are literally launching them. We work as sort of a launch pad for their careers. And this is done entirely and exclusively in the villages of Mutoko, you know, because in the village, there's lesser opportunities than in the city. So having said that, we kind of, you know, tested the waters, and we are looking this year. We may not have students. Like I said, it's a scholarship program. So
Oh.
not like they don't pay anything. It's fully financed. So we may not have anything this year, but we are hoping that now we have done the pilot project and we have seen it. We have also learned from it and drew some lessons on how to become better. So next year we are looking forward to host another 15, probably 20 for the whole year. And then the school is also programming in the sense that it now has a high school on it.
Oh.
So what that means is we have a session for filmmaking as an academy, and we have a high school Form 1 to Form 6. And hopefully, by the grace of God, after right now we are also, you know, in the midst of other construction for you know, other infrastructure. Hopefully by next year, January, we'll be able to have a boarding school, because we are building boarding facilities for high school. So yeah, as far as the school is concerned, I would say that's all there is right now, and we keep excelling and getting better every day. We may not be where we wish or hope to be, but we are definitely making those steps. You know, it's always about one foot in front of the other.
Right, that is awesome. And so you mentioned that this year the program is not going to be there since you've done the pilot season already. I mean, the pilot, like pilot season, look at the acting language. But anyway, since you've done the pilot year, why not this year? Because you know how sometimes people are like, oh, okay, if it's not consistent, how can we trust the program or the academy to say it's going to come back, or this is the end of it, or...
Yeah, I mean,
forward.
look, I think one of the things that I've always been known for in the circles is being truthful to myself and truthful to what I believe in, right?
Yeah.
And I am not, honestly speaking, I'm not doing this for people.
Okay, wait. Can I pause you right there?
Please do.
If anything, what are you doing? Who are you doing it for? What are you doing it for? Because keep in mind, we're here to serve more than anything.
By saying I'm not doing it for people, I'm saying for people's validation, actually.
Okay, in that right sense. Term. Okay, yeah.
So, look, I come from Makosa, Mtoko, right? And I got all what I got through that fight and battle. So what I'm simply doing, nobody gave me this opportunity for me to be where I am today. I had to fight, right? Literally, when I left Mutoko coming to Harare, the first thing I fought for was to get a birth certificate, because I didn't have that. So I
the question is, did you actually know your birthday?
That's why I don't even celebrate birthdays. it's a story. It's a story
That
for
was
that.
a funny question.
I've never celebrated my birthday in my whole life, and I've
Yeah.
never. Okay, I was once surprised by kids that I adopted a lot of kids that I used to adopt at an orphanage.
Yeah.
They just surprised me once, called me in and do the. But honestly, it's not something that is so much important to me. Back to this issue. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I have that background and I'm simply trying to help my community, because when I was in that community, nobody came looking for me. And I know what it looks like. You know, there are certain things that looks like easier and normal for people in the city. But I know what it looks like to be in the village with a burning dream, a burning, you know, dream and a vision and a goal, but you have an opportunity to just say, hey, come show us what you can do.
So what did you mean then by saying we're not doing it, or validation, but the consistency part?
So I'm not doing this for people to say we can believe you or not.
Okay.
I'm doing it because I just want to help the people that needs to be helped, and they themselves knows they are getting the help. Even if I don't have anybody talking about it on newspaper or radio or wherever, I'm pretty much satisfied with that.
Okay.
That I've lived my purpose. I've put one or two people in my village and brought them here. Now, to as in why we are not doing it, I was simply trying to justify or to explain why I'm not concerned about whether people say we believe you or not. I've never been believed by anybody.
Anyway.
Right?
It's one of those where you're like, anyway.
It's not new, right? Nobody literally believed in me from the day I was born, right? To probably when I start being established. People started believing in me after they have seen that I have fought all the other odds, you know, for me to be here. So the reason why we are not doing it, this year. Last year, a good brother of mine who have been in the entertainment industry for decades, who is one of the founding fathers for Culture Fund. Actually, Culture Fund is one of the funding basket in Zimbabwe that funds all the arts activities, literally 99.9%, including all your HIFAs, the ZIFT, the ZIFTESAs, the whatnot. A lot of arts activities are funded by Culture Fund. So one of a good brother, Farai Mfunya, and he retired now. Before he retired, they have been supporting me since I was in Zimbabwe, practicing, going around the world, festivals, performances, and all that. So he just said, I just shared with him, hey, this is what I'm trying to do in my village. And he said, okay, I'll support you. And Culture Fund supported me, and they gave me $6,000 for the students to have that scholarship. Right. So they are the ones who paid for the pilot project. And right now we are not doing it this year because I did not really, we were, it's not just about an activity. It's about the impact. So we are assessing, and we have been assessing. We just said, okay, we have done this last year. Let's pause this year. Let's reflect on this whole program and see what we have done good and what we didn't do good. What can we do better next? What's the impact of the students we already have?
Okay.
It's not just about bringing them, training them, and just releasing them. Doing a follow-up now on where is who, what are they doing, what have they successfully managed to achieve, what other help do they need, so that we launch them. Like I'm saying, I'm trying to launch their careers. So that's why this year we took it as a year for that reflection.
Right. And my sister Rose is like, bravo. Thank you so much for tuning in, Rose. And sorry for the technical issues. We almost couldn't be on YouTube. I see you actually commenting from YouTube. We almost couldn't be on YouTube, but thank you so much for tuning in. And Tendai, it's so understandable, because also, like, if you're doing some of these programs and then you have sponsors, and then, people retire, pull out, and what have you. You have to also be, find a plan B and be strategic, which makes sense, right? And also, you have a whole lot of things going on at the present moment, which I don't know. I'm also learning not to touch 25 million buttons at the same time, which is impossible. You and I are workaholics like that. So we try by all means to try and make everything work and feel as if, we're running out of time, yet we're definitely not really running out of time because God has given us enough time to deal with everything that He's given us. But you know what? It's still amazing that you still continue. And this is why we're having this opportunity to hang out and get to put it out there so people can get that information, in as much as you don't need anybody's validation. We love that. But but just a little FYI kind of helps, because we're here to support you regardless of, of your own belief, right? Which we still love the fact that you're still true to yourself in that sense. And don't even change for nobody. But you know what? You've also been involved in several community center initiatives. Any recent updates that you can share from school projects that we discussed last time, other than just like the scholarship program? Because you said you actually turned it into a high school as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have given, I think, three high school students again full scholarship from Form 1. They won't be paying fees until they are done with Form 6. And look, Mandy, I'm just trying to the best way
you can
develop my. I just know what it is like to be, a bright student, even not bright, just being a child who has been robbed of, his or her childhood period or status. I know what that looks like, because when I was supposed to be a kid, I ended up staying in the street of Harare. Then from there, at age 14, I had to take myself back to the village and became a parent for myself. Until today, I've never, from age 14, I was responsible for my life right to that, right? So I just know what it feels like for children who want to go to school and they can't afford to go to school. So I'm trying my best with whatever that I have to say, hey, come, let's give you a breather, let's give you a fresh start. So we gave these three students scholarships, and one of them has been adopted by the Wimba Inashe Foundation, and two of them it's from my personal scholarships, and that's the student we gave scholarships. The rest of the children, for now, they are paying tuition, right? And like I said, it's still a high school, day school. Next year, probably it will be a boarding school, and we are doing poultry. I think we have plus or minus 600 chickens, roadrunners for eggs. I'm sure by June they will have about 1,000 because they have other orders and all that, and piggery and all that. This is mainly to support their income generation that I've started up for them, for my staff, because it's a institution with staff. Also for them to be able to, prepare for the boarding next year and all that. So basically, that's where we are as far as the school institution is concerned.
That is so amazing. And you know what? Actually, funny enough, like I said, we've been having issues with our system right now. And our brother Addington Hatitongwi, you know him, of course, in the acting space. He just said Maduwa is pushing. Congratulations, bro. Which unfortunately, I have no idea why we can't even put this on our thingy. But yeah, good job,
Thanks,
because
Eddie. Appreciate, man.
All right, it's so tuned in. Thank you so much, Eddie, for tuning in. But you know what? It's amazing that, regardless of what you call it, the hurdles that you're facing, you're still pushing. And like you said, some kids have been robbed the opportunity to, for education, right? And you have experienced it on your own, having to be your own parent or deputy parent, what have you, and just so amazing giving back in that sense, because not a lot of people.
Those are the sad realities, actually.
Yeah.
We tend to turn blind eyes
Mm.
and deaf ears to, there are things that we think they are normal to other people when when people are really going stuff, especially children.
Yeah.
It's easier when you go through stuff as an adult than when you are a kid who is vulnerable, who probably can't make their own decisions, and you are at a point where you just have to be a kid. All you need is somebody to care for you, to provide for you, to give you direction, to rebuke you when necessary, and to congratulate you whenever you've done right. But we are coming from broken societies, unfortunately, where homes are broken, marriages are broken, probably just basic family setting, wanambuya mainini security are enemies, they can't see each other, and there's always these, family politics and church politics are way worse than economic politics. There's so much, and all these things mounts back to a child, which is why I ended up finding myself in the street, because I had no safe haven at all. And the only safest place I could ever be was to live in the street. So looking back at that, and then you see other children, even when I had to go back to the village, right? I left. It's hard to leave the street because that will be your safest haven. Now I had the courage to say, this is not my life. I never drank, I never smoked, I never took drugs, I never stole from anybody.
And still doesn't, by the way.
And still doesn't. and then I managed to successfully fight all those odds. For street life is a jungle. It's a dog. Then I went back to the village where I'm saying, okay, now I'm trying to blend back to the community. Help me. Don't give me money. Don't give me food. Just find those programs that helps children without immediate parents, whom you call orphans, for me to be, to be at school. They call them BIM, where I come from. The social service programs. Just give me an opportunity to be in class. And guess what happens? Because of the politics again, they take children with parents who can afford, and I don't qualify for that. So what do I have to do? I have to start looking after people's carol, heading carol, 7, 5, 6 different families heading carol for me to be able to, put food on the table. And they wouldn't pay me money anyway. They'll give me probably maize and all that. Then I'll sell the maize and go pay my tuition. So looking at all that, I have been robbed of an opportunity to be a child. And I've been automatically graduated into adulthood. So I never really experienced child life. I need to give other children that opportunity to say, okay, I'm here, I've went through this, which is why I love children, regardless of who they are, where they come from, and all that. I've literally adopted a lot of children. Some of them you see them, or I've posted them and I've shared with them. Some of them are literally private lives, their private lives and all that. But I've adopted children from different countries. And because I just want to give them an opportunity to be kids. So which is why I'm going back, especially in Mutoko, because I know that community. I've been there. I grew up there. So much so that during our days, O level, you know the iron of life. You'll find this difficult to believe. When other children were able to start even at their homes, all we just needed was a paraffin for lights. I never had that. I would literally go on the moon. I'll wait for the moon. When the moon is out, I'll then read my book like this.
Wow.
I would go on the fire, probably when it's not the fire
Mm.
in the kitchen.
Because I was about to say, what if it's cloudy? I was about to say, what if it's cloudy? It's raining. It's what? Yeah.
That is if when it's not raining. Because when it's raining, I'll tell you the kitchen that I was living inside had literally no roof. So I would sleep in that kitchen, no roof. Literally, it was a thatchy kitchen, but literally it had no roof. Was the roof, water would literally pour, not drip, would pour inside. So I would just sleep and I would just stand the whole night like this. Water is running over me. In the morning, I'll just wake up, squeeze my clothes, put them aside, doma zunza, put them back on and rush to school during the rain season. What can I do? I am a kid. And the bedroom that was there, which was actually a roofed bedroom, Yamarata, water would pour inside. So there was no way, there was no safe haven, right? But I had to become a parent at that time.
Yeah.
So if I look back and I see other children in that community, I'm so sensitive to their voices because I will see the younger version of myself in that village. If this kid is in the city, it's a different story altogether. There's a vast difference between an orphaned child in the city and an orphaned child in the village.
Wow.
So that's literally why I am so much invested. I could have made this investment anywhere else. I could have built this school in Harare, Blawayo, Mashingo, Mutare, wherever. But I had to go back where I came from because I know the struggle. I know the hustle.
Right. And Mofela just tuned in here, Mr. Nico Abote. It's like Anzina Mofela Madu. I know. I literally just started laughing. I was like, listen.
Yeah,
Stop being dramatic. Sure. No, that is so awesome. And it is actually quite inspiring hearing your story like that, to say, you know what, you've had a hard life. And also, being homeless and eating from the garbage. The last time we spoke, right, where you're eating literally from diaper, and you ate diapers not knowing what a diaper was. Like,
and one thing I find so interesting, especially for people who are in the diaspora, and if they hear a homeless person, they equate that with the Zimbabwean homelessness. It's different.
Oh, it is actually different.
You see a person who call themselves homeless. They're eating these nice, beautiful, I cannot say names because of product placement. They eat from these nice restaurants, bought from fast foods, and they are living in their latest Jeep or Mercedes Benz or whatever car they are living in, and they say, I'm homeless. Yes, you're homeless because you don't have an address, but you do have a home. You are sleeping in your car. Being homeless in Zimbabwe, my guy, you have no, you don't even have any way to find food. Even if you try to scavenge for food, for leftovers, because there are no leftovers.
I know.
You go in the bin, there are no leftovers. When we eat a chicken, we destroy the evidence. We eat it with the bones.
We destroy the evidence. I like that. Even in restaurants, I still kill my bones. You're like,
you see, you destroy evidence that there ever was any meat or bones in anywhere else, and then you say go and scavenge for food in the bin. Which
exactly. Food? Exactly. Oh my gosh, that is so hilarious. Thank you so much, Moses Chapfudza, for tuning in. Hans, my role model, and bravo to you, my brother, Tendai. I'm sure you're. What did you?
The Sam Toko.
Hey, Sam Toko,
he's a wonderful designer, fashion designer.
Oh, yes, I think we need to hang out with him. From the picture, it looks
Yeah.
like, yeah. We definitely, please give me details.
I think you should invite him to a program. He's doing wonderful things.
Definitely.
He's in South Africa.
Definitely. Not you think. Definitely we will. Please do give me details.
I would love that.
Awesome. And so as we move forward, since we don't have enough time, let's get into like our what do you call it? Our actors, our actor stage. Yes, let's get into our actor stage. So let's dive into Sacrilege, a curse of the Mbirwi. Bro, you know I called you.
I know.
I called you right away. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why would you post that? Like, what was your motive in posting the first? I was like, I've never seen somebody so raw and authentic. We love. There's lots of authentic people, but you were so raw. You're like, I was almost not a part of this because, of course, your working schedule and stuff like that. But then, what drew you? How did you manage to work your time around it? And what role do you play in the Audible film that's coming up? It's tomorrow, right? I think it's being released tomorrow.
Yeah. Is it not 29?
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe 29.
Yeah,
I don't know why I was confusing 25 and 29. But
29.
yeah, I was like, no, bro, like, bro, like, I had to call you on this one. And even before, because before you did the project, you called me, right? And you're like, yo, dude, what'd you think? Like, and we had to talk about it and figure stuff out. And you're like, but then time, your time and what have you. But you finally managed to, get doing it. And so, yeah, can we talk about that?
Sure. You know what? I think I need to connect my whatnot on charger just briefly because
sure.
It's actually telling me battery saver.
Okay. No, while you're doing that, we just want to thank all our listeners and viewers for tuning in to After5Radio. Actually, the show is Tough Love Giggles. We're running way behind time because we've had technical issues this morning, left, right, and center, but we're trying to make it work. But you know what? We're here and we're grateful that you actually tuned in. And, we always say the devil is a liar, but guess what? Greater is he that is within us than he that is in the world. And we just made it because, when we share such inspirational stories, the enemy doesn't want us to expose him in that sense, because he would have tried really hard to say, what, you're not going to share your story because I still want to get a hold of you. But you know what? We're never giving up and we're still going to continue doing this. And you've heard his inspirational story and he still continues to go. And there's a whole lot more that we need to unpack where I'm like, hi, Anja Toko. Like, did you actually get to making a perfume? You're actually in Hollywood. You're actually, on this voiceover project where there's very notable actors on it. The project is quite, huge, really. And it's on Amazon Prime to make matters worse. Would you not be inspired by, such a journey? And do you not think the enemy is actually pissed that we are actually exposing him and saying, you know what, no barrier can stop you from your calling and what it is that you've actually been called to do? And Tendai here is a living testimony to say, you know what, you can still do it. And I hope it gets to encourage a whole lot of people. So as we get back, Tendai, I don't know if your power is now good and we're good to go. Yeah, so let's just get into like the upcoming Audible film, Sacrilege, with phenomenal actors that we saw on there, and a Zimbabwean collaboration with amazing actors in Hollywood.
Right. First of all, to answer the question that you asked on how I managed to navigate, I honestly, when I was first called by the producer of the show, Nyasha, he called me and he said, hey, I want you to be part of this project. I'm offering you this role. I want you to do ABCD. And I didn't know Nyasha before. I had not worked with him before. And I I was in the midst of a project.
Okay.
And
so
it's
how
one
did
of,
he find you? How did he find you?
he was given my contacts, I think, by somebody.
Perfect. Okay.
There's a brother here who have been in Hollywood for years, who literally, he's the first Zimbabwean to be in Hollywood before all the Danais and all that. Oma Mike Shinyamurindi.
Oh yeah, I see you always post about him. Yeah.
And can you hear?
Hello. I think.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can. Now we can. We kind of lost you for a second.
There was a little glitch there. So he called me, and I was in the midst of shooting actually, and I'm shooting this project for Peacock TV, and he calls me, and I had a very crazy schedule, back to back to back to back, and I just said to him, I'm sorry, I cannot be part of this, you know. I gave my reasons, and you know, he called me again. I think he called 3 times, and the last time he called me with the, sure, it must be the production manager of some sort, and I then eventually said, you know what, I'm in, let's do it. So he gave me a schedule, and I tried to really, the good thing is he said to me he is flexible in trying to accommodate my schedule. So I was grateful for that, because I honestly did not know how to deal with that. And then we worked around schedule, and he sent me the script. Oh boy, it was one of the best scripts I've ever read last year. I loved it. I loved the role. I loved the character, and I said I'm in. When there, it was a beautiful time working with him. Such a humble, nice guy. You know, good leader. Very, he's a good gentleman, really. And his whole team, you know, he had this wonderful team. Commodore, it was beautiful and fun on set. So then I met other Zimbabweans on set on the day, you know. We just connected, and it was one of the best, you know, projects that I've worked on last year. So that's how I ended up being there.
That is awesome. And so another thing that actually I thought I'm still going to ask, what actually gives you the courage to say, I was almost not a part of this project? And I'm like, okay, we don't need to know that information, sir. This is me thinking, right? And then again, I know you now on a personal level. I was like, oh my gosh, my brother, come on now. And then when I called you, we laughed about it. But I love your courage. I love it. Like, yeah.
Tando, let me put this across. In case you are second guessing the you're talking to, which I know not, but let me put this across just for the audience.
Yeah.
Tando, I'm the typical person. I'm the very same person who once sent people away from a funeral, from artist's funeral, because they are coming to give speeches at a funeral.
Actually, I just remembered. You're straight up.
When they are supposed to have been taken care of artists when they were still alive. I'm literally the same person who literally would say to companies, pitch your tent, get out of here, bro. I'm the same person who at one point said to the minister, you know what, don't take artists for granted, stop insulting artists. And if you're like this, I think there's something wrong with your mind. I'm the very same person. I'm the same person who, look, I am not a person who, I'm just predictable like that. Like, I'm just as straight and as raw as that. I don't have anything to sugarcoat. I don't have anything to, you know, I'm still this very same person. So what I'm saying is I'm just as authentic as that. And whatever it is, it's just there. So the message really, I had not seen it that way, actually, that there are people who be like, oh man, we didn't want to know that information. That's actually interesting to know. I had not seen it from that angle. And it actually makes me pause and think and reflect, and I'm like,
yeah.
Which is, I think it's also okay, because here's the thing. The moment we post stuff on social network, right? Trust you me, it's not it. If you have plus or minus 20,000 followers, it has been received 20,000 times.
That's it.
Because any message that is out there is open for interpretation, and people interpret it the way they feel. And one of the things about me, Tando, is I am not a person you can sit around and say, explain things. I don't owe anybody that explanation. I put stuff there, however you want to take it, because I know what I mean when I write what.
Okay.
Like in this instance, I was just simply saying, actually, I saw it from a positive perspective, in the sense that I was like, if my memory serves me well, I was like, I almost failed to be part of this project because I was working on other projects, right? But eventually, I had to accept being part of the project because I noticed there were other Zimbabweans working on it. So I felt like it's a community. So the motivating factor in this is actually the fact that it's done by a Zimbabwean and it has other Zimbabweans. Honestly speaking, even though I need jobs, at that time, if this was not being done by Nyasha, I wouldn't have been part of it, because I was already on a straining schedule. You know filmmaking, you know acting, you know our industry. When I went there, when I went there, that's why he was kind enough to say, Tendai, we will accommodate that schedule. When I went there, it was just get in, do what you have to do. When it's time for me to leave, there was not even, if you ask some of the cast members, they'll tell you, we did not even have time to even socialize or talk, because I was like squeezed. So I wouldn't have sacrificed myself like that if it was not being done by a Zimbabwean. So the motivating factor is that it's being done by my brother, and this is my community project. So was it not because of that, I would have just shut it down from the onset, like literally, and I could have continuously saying I'm not being part of this, because I was working on a very, very, draining project already.
Right. No, but thank God you made it, and we look forward to what has become of it, or what became of it, or what's going to become of it, or
Trust you me, I'm excited about this project. I'll continuously say I think it's one of the best decisions I made to actually be part of it. It's a beautiful, beautiful project, and just I'll continuously say this. It's not just about the jobs. When we are working, it's about the team that you work with. It's the family. So this team that created this project created a family, and they made us feel like we are family. And because of that, I just don't regret being part of it.
No, we love that, and we look forward to it. So also, what role do you play, without giving away the entire storyline or what have you? What kind of role do you play?
I'll try to just give you a character Bible instead. Because I don't think I'm qualified enough to speak on the entirety of the project.
Yeah.
Because of a whole lot of other things. How things works here in Hollywood, it's just something else. So my character basically is one of the workers at a restaurant in Zimbabwe, and I'm glad again I got a character that sort of resonates with who I am in life. It was just that blunt, candid, raw character. I didn't have to do much.
So if you'd never worked with him, and whoever referred you, they know you very well, and they're like, nah, this person is the right person for this role.
I think didn't have to act. I just had to turn my name into stage. I just had to
Yeah.
yeah. And it
Oh,
was
no.
easy work.
No, that is awesome. So, what was the most challenging and surprising part about working on a culturally rooted thriller like that? Because it's like, okay, do we come from a place where what do you call it? Witchcraft is could be considered thriller? Does it have witchcraft in it, and what have you? Or for it to be considered thriller, what was the most challenging or surprising part of the project?
Let me tell you this, Tando.
Mhm.
Maybe it might help.
Mm.
I didn't even read the entire script, and until today, no, I'm just as honest as that. And until
Okay.
today, I'm also looking forward to the 29th. I don't even know what's in the whole story.
You
When I
just
got
look
the
for your
script,
role.
when I got the script, all I asked for was my character Bible. I
Mhm.
just asked the background of my character. Who is he?
Mhm.
Why is he doing what he's doing? Why does he have these feelings and these emotions when he's doing this? Why does he talk like this? Why doesn't he? Like, I just asked the important questions that I think an actor needs to know from an actor point of view. I got those answers. I read my part, and then I went and I shot. That's all I did. So I don't even know what's in the story. I only got to read what the director produced, but I'm also looking forward to even, whatever that is. Like I said, I was on the verge of working on another draining project, so I couldn't even read the whole script.
That's interesting. So it's going to surprise all of us, including yourself, which is quite interesting. But then, so how do you then get to make different choices? Because of course, if you're given the character Bible and then without reading the whole script, because I think reading the whole script kind of helps in your choices of how you're going to bring out the character. How did you manage to make those choices without reading
There's
the
a
entire
whole
script?
lot of creative technicalities that are
Okay.
involving in every other project, and there's no universal approach into projects or acting.
Yeah. Okay.
Because every project comes with different demands. So when I went through what I was told about this project, the options that I had was to sit down and say, what is it that I need to know about this character? Where is he coming from? Where is he going? What does he want to achieve? And his feelings, his emotions, his experiences. And I had to sit down with the producer and director and ask him these questions. When he answered these questions, I said, okay, I am a malleable actor, right? When I'm in real life, I'm not vulnerable. In real life, I'm close. But when it comes
Tendai, I love you, man. I
know.
love you. You're so like genuine. I like that.
I know.
You're like, no.
No, I'm
I don't
not.
know. I don't know if that's a strength or if that's a weakness. I don't know.
I also don't know. I am a very closed person. You have to work hard, break even. But when you get inside, trust you me, you have it all.
I'm grateful for that. I am grateful for that. I am grateful.
So I am malleable on set. I am vulnerable as an actor. I am extremely vulnerable. I'm like slime. You can make anything out of it. You can build a cow out of it. You can build a plate out of it.
Yeah.
So that's me. When I'm going on set, I take everything out.
Wow.
And I go to the producer and director and say, here I am. You ask me to do this, I'll give you what I can give you, but I'm malleable. Make me what you want me to be. So luckily, I've had an opportunity to work with a director who knows what he wants to achieve. And he knows how to make what he wants to make out of a vulnerable actor.
That's true.
So both bringing my strength of being vulnerable and him bringing strength of knowing how to portray whatever character I want to portray. We brought the character he wanted, and he was satisfied and happy.
Check you out. All I can say is that shows your talent really more than anything, because if you're able to bring something that you're not on screen and or on set, really, because this is going to be audible, right? Because I remember when I was talking to you about it, I was like, yo, dude, I've never really heard an audio storytelling, and you tried to give me an example. I'm like, dude, I think I didn't listen to enough radio regarding storytelling because we were more on the musical side of things. So it's something that, we look forward to listening to for the very first time for people like me and maybe some people as well. And then also coming from a Zimbabwean background, I think it would actually be more interesting. And then having people who are in Hollywood doing that, is something that we really look forward to. And we appreciate your talent, and just being raw as you are. This is the one thing I like about you. The authenticity is it's extremely real. And I bet people are like, yeah, okay, I can actually see Amanda, relating to this person. Although yeah, we appreciate you. We appreciate you, my brother. But as we about to get towards the end of of today's show, we cannot leave without talking about. Let's go down here about business and branding. Why would we come here and not talk about it? Because okay, at first we thought it was just the school giving back. It makes sense where you're like, okay, I am doing this for people who are not, who are underprivileged and who didn't get the opportunity, who cannot get opportunities, to go to school, filming and what have you, considering how the entertainment industry is taken in our home country, Zimbabwe. And then now we see you just popping up with the whole, oh yeah, perfume branding, this, that. I'm like, bro, like, tell me, the new perfume line that you're working on, what sparked that idea and what's the story behind the scent?
Look, I've always been a classy villager with nothing.
Yeah.
So I've always fell in love with scents and smell and all that. So I'm trying to see. It's just that I'm in my office and I don't think I have anything close by. But let me see if I can get something along the way. So I have been, mixing different kind of scents, and for a long period, using my own perfume to spray and wear my own colognes going out in functions and programs. And then people had to, ask me about them, and they actually thought it's one of those biggest brands and they would always compliment it and all that. And I was like, no, that's mine. Right. And and that's how I started making them.
So, as in, before you decided to make them, as in like to officially make them and brand and what have you?
I've always been making them, but without branding them.
Oh,
I got to a
gotcha.
point of branding them because I met a lot of people commenting about them and talking about them, and I just said, I'm just a business person, right? And oh yeah, I got something here.
Yeah.
This one is still in the packaging phase.
Stage. Oh, okay. Villager. I see you.
Right. And this is like the box.
Wow. Good job. We like that. Yeah.
So then I said, why can't I think it's high time, I make this line, because one of the things that we need to know is, as actors and artists, is that whatever money that we are making now will not always be there.
Oh, absolutely. And this is why you see lots of entertainers right now, they have businesses on the side, right? Even not just entertainers, even sportsmen and stuff like that. they start having businesses on the
I would
side
say
against
any
them out there.
organized person
Any organized person,
from
actually.
any field.
Yeah.
We need to get to a point whereby, because if you keep this money in the bank, you are simply making the bank richer.
Actually.
But if you take this money and invest it, you are making yourself richer. So whatever it is that you're working on, imagine I've been working on this. This is literally the second year, but it's now coming out, and it's not really yet in the market.
Okay.
By the time we fully release, yes, we have some samples that we are sending out for just testing the market, But
Wait, sorry. I'm so sorry. I couldn't let this comment pass us by. So our brother Nico is like, I can't, please stop. This is not the moment that I need to be laughing because we're running behind time. So it's like, you need to chill. I can chill now. Chill.
anditi kune controversy yainzi maZimbabwe kudini ragaindisiyane nazvo.
Oh, chai, don't go there. Okay.
So I'm at that point where I am trying to get my resources to create more money for my children and myself. Because there will come a point, even if we get more gigs and more shows, even when we make it to the A-list Hollywood acting industry, this money in the bank is literally papers.
True.
It's not wealth, it's not riches, it's just papers in the bank. It can only be money and wealth when we have these investments, when it's generating more income and all that. So I'm at that point in life where I'm making these investments. And it's just the beginning. Hence, I started with the school. The school is fully functioning now, and it has its staff, its management. I'm just coming at the advisory board. Income is being generated, life is being changed, employment is being created. When my kids get older, from 16, 17 years old, hey, take over the institution, run over. They have a starting point. Another one, come join the villager business. Let's run it over. And you get to a point when by the time you get to retirement, which we don't know if that will happen because we don't retire in the acting industry.
Yeah.
But by the time there's a moment we are growing old. There's a moment when you'll be older. You just don't need a lot of pressure and stress. Probably you work on one film once in a year, choose by choice. And you'll be doing the things you love. You go to the school, you give, you're doing philanthropy work, you run the villager, and writing books. I have this children's book that is getting in the syllabus for grade 0 to grade 3. You are just running these books. You are doing the things that you love the most.
Yeah.
Without giving yourself so much pressure. So yeah, that's what's up.
Woo! That's what's up. Check this out. Actually, yesterday we went to the opening of the Calgary Black Film Festival. So amazing. And the movie that was that opened up was, what was it called? Uncle? Fight Like a Girl. Yeah. And it's got I don't know what her full name is. She's South African, but it was done like in Congo and Rwanda. And imagine, I only got to learn that the main actress, who actually, let me just use for those who've watched Blood and Water, who acted as Pumi in Blood and Water. She's the lead actress and everything. And I only got to learn that her first paycheck in the acting industry at 19, she went and bought a house.
Yep.
I'm thinking at 19, what were you doing? Tendai? What was I doing? And what do people do at 19? But at 19, she thought to say, I am not going to spend it on, I'm not going to be spending it on whatever, like as in what young adults would do, right? To be flexing it with fancy cars, clothes, and what have you. But she went on to buy a house at 19 and then put tenants in it so she can earn money from it.
That's what look, Tando. As you become mature, I'm not personally, I've never been a person who lives a lavish lifestyle. As I am right now here in the USA, if you put gas on my car, I pay my rent house. You put food on my table, put food in my fridge. If you give me $100 here in the USA, if you give me $100 right now, by the end of the month, I'll give you back that $100, or probably I'll give you 8 back.
Wow.
By the end of the month.
Wow.
I am not a person who live a lavish lifestyle. I'm putting on a $40 watch. 40.
Wow.
40.
Wow.
I can afford to buy a more expensive one. But I'm putting the very cheapest watch you can find for a person of my caliber here in this industry. Like the cheapest. When I'm walking into the room, people look at your watch and they'll be like, but what am I doing? I'm building a school with fully functional systems, with employees getting salaries every other month.
Wow.
What am I doing? I'm investing in a perfume, legally registered, approved, with very soon we'll be starting employing people for it. So what does that mean? I am not in the belief that this money I am making now will forever be with me if I don't invest. You see, this is actually the biggest challenge that I've seen in the mostly Zimbabwean acting scene or Zimbabwean art scene. Let me say it as blunt as I can be. You see artists, there were moments they will be making money. They may not be making millions, but they'll be making 5,000, 10,000, 2,000, 3,000 in Zimbabwe. And they never even bought or built a house kuchitungwisa kana kudema. Then kuchiuya nguva yekuti acharwara munhu uyu. Haana income, haachagone kuenda kubasa. They cannot act, they cannot sing, they cannot paint, they cannot do their arts activities. They don't have a home to be, they can't afford hospital bills. The next thing you're doing crowdfunding. I have nothing wrong. I have nothing against crowdfunding. But are we going to live like that for the rest of our lives? Was there no a point in our lives as artists where we have been privileged to make money, whatever amount? But from that $1,000, I'm telling you, kuchikoro kwangu, there's 600 road runners. 600 road runners need $600 kutenga as my day-old chicks. Yes, food expensive and other things, but those kutori machibag and mix. If you keep those road runners, this happened in a period of not yet 6 months from now. If you keep those projects, I'm just talking of basic. I'm not even doing this. It's a school project for my children to have meat, right? But people are living out of those projects. By the end of 2 years, you'd probably be having 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 road runners. And if 1,000 road runners can give you at least 30 crates of eggs a day. 30 crates of eggs a day. Okay, is that not income coming in? Don't we have other things that can generate money? Let's maybe the excuse is, Tendai, you are speaking because probably you make certain amount of money and you are able to afford to do ABCD. But from whatever that we are making, can we do something that generates money? Even to buy a cow, $200 in the village, put it there.
But you know what, Tendai? One thing I don't know that I'm grateful for when it comes to exposure and seeing, how it is living in the diaspora and what you're saying versus, like you're saying, artists, or did you say entertainment, the entire entertainment industry, especially back home, is unfortunately back home, it's a big deal having a car. Which here is like a liability. When you come here, you now know what's an investment, what's the difference between an investment and a liability, because
That's
of
actually
lack of
where I
literal.
wanted to go.
Exactly.
That's where I
Financial
wanted to go,
literacy
Tando.
is so
That's
back
where,
home.
and what do you see most of them doing? Whoever get a little amount of money, they are going buying an ex-job car. They are buying
Where
brands.
there's potholes, where there's
They are buying brands. You see somebody who doesn't even have title deeds wearing a $200 watch.
Yeah.
I have title deeds, not one. I'm wearing a $40 watch. I'm not saying you should live like I am. I'm just saying and putting it out there.
Priorities.
Why are you going to buy a Mercedes Benz that you can't even afford a part when it needs service?
You need to chill.
No. I'm being for real. Then what are you doing? After buying that, you are getting yourself in that stress because you need to take pictures and videos to post on Facebook and say, you are making it. I'll tell you, 99.9% of people that you see in this world don't even care how you live.
Apparently.
And you are living in a stressful life. I posted this and people reposted it sometime last year, if not last year, but one that we are just a miserable generation with happy pictures.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true.
You cannot live for social network.
Yeah.
There are lots of people who wish in real life to meet the people they live on social network.
That's true.
They wish I could meet this person I'm portraying on social network just to come in my life. They are the same people who are posting
dude, I think that was kind of proven to be the opposite though this week. When did you hear about the men's conference, the Alpha Males conference? We're not going to get into detail, but I don't think.
I mean, I've seen it circulating online.
Exactly.
I'm typically the person that I don't even follow that person. I don't really.
But no, me and you and me both. We don't follow that person. For me, of course, for obvious reasons, right? You don't bash women like that and think you actually have a following from me, unfortunately. But it's just one of those where when people started posting, like you're saying, some people leave to say, "Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to meet this person." Like yesterday at the Calgary Black Film Festival, I was so excited to meet creators who are doing great out in the entertainment industry, who I have spoken to on social media for so many years. And it was my first time meeting them. It was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe you. I cannot believe that I'm seeing you in real time and what have you, right? But then again, it's positive. It kind of speaks to my, entertainment world and stuff like that. But I don't know if, everybody wants to meet the people that portray to be these people on social media.
Here's what I'll say, Tando. On this, whatever person they call them, don't send boys to do men's work. That's number one. then number two.
You're going to be coded, bro. You're going to be coded.
You don't second guess me. Then number two. I'll say this without a glitch. I associate with a lot of people at different levels, like at real personal life. The people that matters the most, the people, I'll tell you 80 to 90% of the people you see getting attention on social network, in real life, they don't even matter.
That's true.
People that matters the most, they don't even spend as much time on social media as you think.
Yeah.
Where will I get time to spend 24/7 on social media? Tando, when I have 5-6 different scripts that needs to be read, I have a business to run, I have this to do. Where would I get that time for?
Joe, at least there's work out here. I can understand people back home. There's no work.
It's not even about even back home.
Yeah.
Okay. These are my brothers.
Yeah.
I have not spoken to them about this, but they are my brother. They are like, these are the people that I can call even at 2 a.m. For instance, there's a guy called Dr. Chomi Makina. the CEO of Moonlight Funeral Services.
Okay.
If you go on social network, you'll probably not even see him. He's back home. Mukoma Tawanda Nyambira Etienne. I've given you 2 names of people who really matter in life that I talk to at any time, and I know they wouldn't have a problem with me mentioning their names. You will not even see them on social network like that. These are millionaires we're talking about. And they are quiet, very quiet. So, Tando,
guys, from the passion that Tendai is talking, listen, quiet.
Tando, my point really is, if you are, especially a man, if you are a man who is seeking validation and attention through social network, if there is any man you have seen really seeking attention on social network, there's a difference between being followed for the right reasons and attention seeking. That has to be differentiated. There are other men who are followed for the right reasons. I'm not saying having a following is seeking attention, but there are people who goes on social network seeking that attention. And if you are a man doing that, I will tell you that 99.9% of them in real life, they are nothing.
No one cares to. Yeah.
They are just, they know, taking the phone out of their life, taking the internet out of their life, closing those accounts out of their life, they'll be miserable.
Wow.
They have nothing else except that clout or that count they create on social network.
No, I get you. And people probably paying attention, and hopefully, people will start thinking differently regarding what people do with their wealth, if I should put it that way, or finances, not needing to be rich from the offset, right? From the offset, but how you invest more than anything, rather than just being on social media and, like you said, calling it seeking attention in a different way, in a wrong way, versus some people who do it for the right reasons.
Because by the end of the day, taita izvozvo tatenga zviri lavish, tichienda kuma holidays, taking my pictures, tiri kuma vacations. There is a time, and the time will come. You get sick, your child will get sick, you will die, your relative will die, or something can happen.
Absolutely.
Even if you don't get sick or die, you become homeless. What then happens? Now you're coming back to us. Let's crowdfund and support this person. Is there anything wrong in doing charity work? Yes, there's nothing wrong, but tanga tisina here mamwe ma options during the time that tanga tisina here ma options than kuenda kuma vacations kuti tore ma pictures vanhu vati zviri kufaya.
No, but then again, considering that they're on social media and they're putting themselves out there, I think in their minds, it's like, yeah, they will actually crowdfund me because they've been following me, as in I have a following.
Tando.
I knew you were going to make
Tando.
I knew it. Oh gosh. Why did I even start?
I've seen people with millions of followers.
Yeah.
Failing to get medical attention in order $20.
Yeah.
Social network is fake. It's drama. It's script. You of all the people should know that it's scripty.
Dude,
the people that post the right things don't even attract so much following like people who post nonsense too. For instance, Pangapana Mkomaniko here, I don't know if he's still here. Mkomaniko runs a very successful arts studio.
Yeah.
And he promotes artists. I read
with magazines.
I read his magazines each time he posts them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I may not even comment. I read them each time he posts a magazine. I read it. But he does not even attract as much following as Munari kutukana nemunhu zvemukati. Why? Because the people that post the real stuff, like real productive stuff, don't even get that much attention.
That's true.
Because we have this toxic community that thinks we can strive on narcissistic toxic behaviors, and these are the very same people wekuti pawanozoita ma call for help, even une 2 million followers, kungobvisa $120 chaiwo kuti awane $20 yekunonyoresa card public hospital, anenge asina mozonzo kuti munhu afa. And kana afa manje vanhu ivavo ndo pavanochizouya vakiita kunge vanokuda vakunyora ma-rest and peace totumira upi mari yechema.
That's it.
Unfortunately, this is the society we live in. Unfortunately.
And I just wanted to confirm and concur with what you just said, because I remember when I started, I was told, oh yeah, Amanda, for you to get numbers, people love drama, people love toxicity, people love, and I was like, you know what? That's not what I stand for. You understand? I believe in consistency. I believe in what I am doing for people who are out there trying to make it or who've already made it, so we can celebrate you and what have you. You understand? For me to be sitting down, trying to, oh yeah, and what have you, and what do I gain from that? Other than feeding myself with lots of negativity, which who knows might even affect my mental health on the side. Because I'm not going to put what's affecting my mental health on social media. I'm going to put what I want you guys to see, the drama and everything, right? And you know how, where we come from, we've never really explored mental health the way we're now aware of, right now. But trust and believe, I have been given that word directly. For you to get numbers, Amanda, you need to go. And I was like, you know what? I'm not about the numbers. If anything, those who want to follow will follow. Those who want to know will know. And those who do not, it's okay. You understand? I am just sticking on my calling, because it's only that Tyler Perry said it only takes one yes out of, those millions of, oh yeah, okay, Amanda's just, chilling with Tendai today. Like, what is Tendai going to talk about other than just being raw and what have you, right? It's okay, because guess what? I love what I do and I do it for people. So it is what it is, right? But I've actually heard that. I've actually heard that a lot.
I deliberately chose to put my posts, 99.9% of them is about a reality of my personal experience. So if I'm giving an opinion over anything, I equate it to the life that I lived. And I've noticed that I'm actually helping a lot of people, because apart from the traffic that happens on my posts, there's also conversations that on inboxes of people who will be like, you know what, because of this post, I've been helped on A, B, C, D, E. And people had to relate with that, because this is like real life stories.
Yeah. And people love what's relatable to them, right? Like real life stories, not putting stuff that's unreal.
Yeah. So that's unfortunately how it is. But there are days, in a nutshell, comedians, musicians, actors, painters, even the guys that I've seen recently, there's a big wave of people doing skits. It's like almost everybody. I've actually seen even other actors that I used to respect doing skits as well. And
now you need to chill, man.
and no, I'm being for real. It's just that you know what, people need to understand that you need to find your niche.
That's true.
Do I have anything wrong with skits? No. But okay, I've had 3 people. I mean, two of them now are well followed skits developers in Zimbabwe. Okay. 2 of them. One of them hasn't yet started. And I've had 3 people coming to me and say they want to do skits with me for years. And my position was, I'm an actor. I get paid for my face to appear anywhere else. And I cannot do skits even if you pay me. Why? Because I went to school for this. I made investment. So when I'm acting, I need to understand and know certain things. I don't just carry a character. There are There are principles and dynamics of acting that I has to apply. So I cannot do skits. Anyway, that wasn't my point. The skit developers, every other creative in the land, in Zimbabwe, and a Zimbabwean in the diaspora or wherever you are, please, my message to you is, this is the time we are making whatever little we are making. Let's use it wisely. Kana muchiafoda kutenga maBenz, tengai. Kana muchiafoda kutenga maLamborghini, tengai. Kana muchiafoda kutenga maHonda Fit, tengai. Kana musinga afford, regai. Asi reganditaure nechimutauro chedu. Ndapota nerudo rwaMwari ngatiitei ma-investments. Whatever little investment, even kutenga mbudzi 4 dzisiya kumusha. Mbudzi 4 idzodzo panopera gore unenge wane 8, ukadzichinjanisa wane mombe 2. Ukadzichengeta paunorwara, ukatora mombe 1 ukanoitengesa $500. Even ukazoti kune vanhu ndiitire crowdfunding yotadza kukwana. Unogona kutengesa mombe idzodzo dziri 5 by $500 or 2.5. Mombe dziri kungodya uswa idzi. Hauna feed yakutenga. Saka we need, haisi so much about kugadzira ma-perfumes or building schools or hospitals. Hatisi tese takadaidzirwa.
Zvipo zvinosiyana.
But mari yauri kuda kutenga Honda Fit, ngatiti for instance waspenda $4,000 to $5,000. Mari iyoyo ukaitora ukaisa muinvestment nerudo rwaMwari, hama dzasha, mari iyoyo ichakuchengeta imangwana. Taneta nekunzi ngati crowdfundei tibatsire vanhu. Kucrowdfunda nekubatsira vanhu kwakanaka, tinokuda. But tinoda kuonawo ma-efforts enyu, because we cannot be the ones sacrificing ourselves, not going to the holidays you are going because you want pictures for social network. When it's time, you come back to us and say crowdfund for us. And if we don't, you then say you are being abandoned. Let us see at least the efforts you are making now, so that when the time comes, we can chip in knowing very well muneo pamwinapo tobatsira. Neniwo at one point pamwe ndichadawo kubatsirwa. But munenge muchizivawo kuti ko kuchikoro kwake kwambobva mari, ko product yake yemaperfume kwambobva mari, ko imo muaccount make mumbori nemari, kwashota mari, regai tichimupawo $2 abatsirike. My point is, ngatisanakidzwei nekuita live a lavish lifestyle isinga existe for that matter, just for the clouds and for the likes and love of social network. There is real life. And iwewe, as you listen to me, if you need to be honest to yourself and sit yourself down, you know exactly what I'm talking about. After you pack your Benz outside, after you pack your Honda Fit outside, after you take off the clothes that you have taken from fashion shops that makes you brand ambassadors and all that, after all that is taken and you close yourself, lock yourself, uriwega in your own room, and do stock take of your life, you know exactly that you have some work to do. Then let's do it.
You heard it for yourselves, guys. You heard it for yourselves. And if you don't already follow Tendai, this is one guy that you need to start following, because, like he said, he posts every detail. I know some people say, oh yeah, but Tendai, why would you post your whole life? Trust me, I've had people tell me that. Oh, you're posting your life, da, 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 da. Although I post what I want people to see, really, to be honest. But I love the fact that even like yesterday, where you were posting, you know, one of your chickens saying the process, right? Don't just look at the outcome. You know, don't look at the outcome, because these things do happen during transportation. Some of your chickens were infected and, you know, and sick and what have you. That's real life, which shouldn't actually discourage people, but encourage people to say, you know what, it's not everything that's going to come perfect, regardless of how hard you put, how much effort you put into your hard work and what have you. But it is actually okay, to run a loss of about 10 chickens or one chicken.
Actually, from 300, we have lost 36.
There you go. And don't be despaired. Yeah.
We are talking of less than 1 week.
Right.
That means more losses will come.
Right. Yeah.
Even though the other batches we had successful rates and all that.
Yeah.
So I was posting that because people has a tendency of, like, for instance, because our target is to say by June, tinget 1,000 or so chicken. And then it's Mazai already. So people will visit the school and say, oh, this is a successful project. You are making it happen. And so my message there would be like, okay, yes, I am one person who is not so much interested with the results. I'm interested with the process.
The process is always fun.
That's where growth comes.
Yeah.
I've had moments when I receive this news that we have lost so much chickens and I'm about to sleep and I have distress, and I got to a point where I started impressing them and start asking questions. Okay, what can we do better? On the ground in Nandipo, what can we do better? What do you think? What do you think we can do? How can we avoid this? And we had these conversations and start implementing them, and we are growing from them. So if you visit the site today and you see thousands who could plus or minus 30 to 50 crates of eggs a day, and you'll be like, it was a walk-in. It wasn't, and there's nothing like that. And you cannot stop doing what you have to do because of those losses. So these are like the practicalities of the things you are never told in business.
That's
because
true.
people just see the successes and they'll be like, it was a walk in the park.
Nope. Never a walk in the park. But anyway, sir, when you think of legacy, since we've been talking about investments, legacies, and what have you, what do you hope people say about Tendai Maduwa 20 years from now?
Yeah, I think
I want to see how much you actually think of yourself. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, I'm just an open book, and I'm open for interpretation from whoever. However, I'll tell you this: in this life, I can be a saint to other people, and I can be a villain to others. So on that one, all I can do is just to live my authentic life, do what I keep on doing, what I'm doing, and people can just remember me in any way they have experienced me. You remember me as someone that you can call and have a conversation with at 2 a.m. and laugh over anything and everything. That's what you can remember me for. Somebody can remember me as their boss that took them from wherever when they didn't have a job and gave them a job and, give them their children's school fees and all that. Somebody will remember me as a loving, caring father to my children. And I'm just an open book. And I don't want to be remembered just for one thing or the things I gave and things I didn't give. I just want an individual to remember me for the experiences they had with me. If I was an idiot in your life, please don't try to sugarcoat it and make it look nice. Just remember me as that idiot. I just want people to remember me with the experiences they've had with me, which is why I try as much as possible to be good to everybody. I can't manage to, but I try. So whoever has whatever experience with me, remember me in that way.
Don't sugarcoat is what he's saying, because he doesn't sugarcoat. So that's one thing we love about you. But anyway, as we conclude our interview today, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. The one thing, Tendai, that your fans probably don't know about you, what is it as an open book that you are? And as raw as you are, one thing that fans probably don't know about you before I expose you, because you always say, Amanda,
I was about to say you are actually in a good position to tell them really what they don't know, because a lot of people see me as a very serious person in real life, and yes, I'm closed. I don't want people to have so
No,
much
you're not
access to
close.
me. That's the
No,
honest
no,
truth.
no. Oh, access. Yes, access that I can
Access
attest
to
to. Yeah.
me, but realistically, they don't know that you and I, or with the other people, we can sit, call each other, talk, laugh,
Right.
like
Yeah.
real good laugh,
Right.
and talk about anything and everything, joke. I mean, being just open like that.
Open. Yeah. Yeah.
But again, it only is a privilege to the people that have that opportunity to manage to break that wall that is built around me, which is
Right.
not an easy thing. I
Which
think
is not an
that's
easy
what
thing, because I remember when I called you about the, sacrilege, I was like, dude, I'm calling to congratulate you. It's like, ha, Amanda, really? Amanda, really? Andinombozvijaira izvi indawo so
no,
no
those
andinombozvijaira zvemakorokota izvo ukuti I've done something huge. Dude, it is huge, right?
to be honest, where I come from, that doesn't exist.
I know.
Why don't do Mesera?
I know. No, actually, I did it intentionally, knowing you. So I was like, okay, I need to have a good laugh. Like you said, it's one of those where, where I pick up my phone and like, okay, even if you don't pick up, I know Tendai is going to return. And when you do, it's like, where did we leave off?
Right.
Right.
And that's actually what people don't know. Because honestly, I've had people that think, even on most of my posts, there's this consistent of crop of people that always ask me, why are you always serious?
Really?
Yep. There's a consistent crop. There are these 3 or so guys. I've never met them in person. I don't know them. And they always ask the same question.
Oh.
Yeah.
Introduce me to that Tendai, please.
Why are you always serious?
Okay.
At least you need to laugh. At least you need to be light. At least you need to smile. At least you... And I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. And guys, I get to learn new Shona words from this dude. I'm like, dude, what are you saying?
Right.
And then I laugh. And I'm like, so how are you? Wow. Okay.
So they say I'm too serious. Well, like I'm saying, I want you to have an experience of me based on what you have seen of me.
You've seen an experience.
If you have seen me as that person, trust you me, with all honesty, it's okay.
Yeah.
If you have seen me as this, with all honesty, it's okay. One of the things I vowed never to do in my life is make explanations about anything to anybody.
You can't.
And unfortunately, even nyangwe ingato a girlfriend chayo. Explanations.
Dololo.
I take accountability, but explanations. Yeah. So whatever you think is, or whatever you have had, and grasp that and run with it, and you expect me to justify why Eddington has called you, or Nkomaniko has called you to say what, or why you called Nkomaniko to say what, so I need to clarify to you that I said or did.
Not our brother Tendai. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, Tendai, it's always a vibe hanging out with you. Thank you so much, as always, for sharing your story, your moves, and your magic, really, to be honest, because sometimes it just takes, courage to be as bold as you are. And we really appreciate that about you. I know not a lot of people do appreciate, because they're not used to, boldness. I mean, bluntness, really, but you're just who you are, and it is what it is, unapologetically. But at the same time, you said you're able to take accountability when when something wrong is really wrong. I know the reason why I'm actually saying this is, where I recently I saw a post on social media that says, oh yeah, do not associate or do not get married to a man or woman who is unapologetic, because they won't know how to apologize. I tried to understand that statement. I was like, wow, okay, there's a difference between being unapologetic, which, like you said, you don't owe anybody anything. But when you make a mistake, you do acknowledge and take accountability for it. Do you understand? So it's like when you're saying, people post stuff on social media, and it's how you take it, how, there's so many philosophers, self-acclaimed philosophers on social media, who, if you don't know your worth, you don't know who you are, you just agree and say true.
I just, this will be like my last one. I just posted again and said, the problem with this generation is that everybody now has an access to a mic and a podium.
Yeah, that's it. And keyboard.
That's why we have a lot of nonsense and stupid things being amplified. Hence, we are living a life of circus, because even the idiots have access to mics. A passing censorship. So the unfortunate part is, which is our responsibility as followers, is to save and differentiate idiots from logic, because everybody has an access to a podium. And the unfortunate part is, even the majority of the people who actually commands following because of idiocy, which proves a point that we are living in a broken society, which celebrates stupidity more than morals.
Yes.
That's why, because I cannot see myself following people who go on social network, vachibvisa manduwe kuti vawane attention, vachitukana zvinyadzi kuti vawane attention, vachipa ma-opinions anodestroy society kuti vawane attention. Then ipapo ndo paunoona kune, ukaivhura post iyo unenge unoona kune 5,000 comments, 10,000 comments. So it means we have these 10,000 that has commented, plus the other 10 or 20,000 that just listened and implemented whatever they've heard from an idiot who didn't comment.
Sadly.
Yeah. So that's the problem with this generation now.
And you heard it for yourselves, guys. From acting to aroma, voice to vision, Tendai is a walking blueprint of what it means to evolve fearlessly, as you can hear. Because as fearless as he is, I think this is something that a lot of us should take from our talented brother, multi-talented brother, businessman, voiceover artist, you name it. So thank you so much, Tendai, even for your last words, and even just throughout our interview, for so much wisdom. And hopefully a lot of people took away something out of this interview, especially talking about investments, something that not a lot of people get to talk about, and what people need to invest in. But if anything, where can people follow you and what have you, and all that fun stuff, before we call it a day?
Well, I'm just as predictable as that. My full name is Tendai Maduwa, Facebook, Instagram, wherever, YouTube, Google, wherever. It's just Tendai Maduwa. I'm not 10 Madiwu.
10 Madiwu.
10 Madiwu. No, I'm Tendai Maduwa, just as simple as that.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. And guys, please catch Tendai in Sacrilege, Curse of the Mbiri. That's actually coming up May 29th. And there's so many phenomenal actors who are part of that project. And we so look forward to hearing the collaboration of these Zimbabweans coming together for, this podcast. I mean, is it audible film? And so, yeah, just be on the lookout for that signature scent as well. That's soon to shift the fragrance game. Since right? And I don't know, but then again, you've always been a lover of, I guess, smelling good and all that fun stuff. But thank you so much, Tendai.
Thank you, Tendo, for having me. Thank you, listeners and viewers.
Awesome. So as we log out and conclude, it is actually 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Is that my time zone? Yeah. And it's 10 Pacific, your end, right? 10 Pacific, your end. I think we've had enough information to go by and learn from and, have on our socials, be it YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. And of course, we're going to try and, fix up our our login stuff, because we're trying to we just shifted to a different network and we're trying to figure stuff out, but I guess we're gonna have to go back to the better stuff, the easy user-friendly stuff. But you know what, we're here, we managed to make it, and it is amazing. Thank you so much, Tendai. Before I can I release you before I can do our goodbyes here?
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
No, that is awesome. I'll catch up with you later. All right, to our amazing listeners and viewers, never stop building, believing, and becoming. I've been your host here on Tough Love Giggles, and this is After5 Radio, where stories breathe and voices rise. So until next time, keep chasing purpose and letting your gifts make room for yourself. Take care. God bless you. And I love you, honeys. Bye for now. Chai.
Let's make history from today. JJC, I'm from Nigeria. It doesn't matter to live anywhere, Jira. And if you have no fear, don't stand and stare. Put your fist in the air. All I wanna hear is we are Africans. We are Africans. We are Africans. Zimbabwe. Yeah, we are Africans. We are Africans. We are Africans. Come on, Africans.
As soon as I set foot on African soil, that's when I get in touch with African style. The Africans and show me African smile. African talent that are well versatile. See African very calling artists, African the wisest, African the smartest, the mentor, the voice, and the juice are the artist. Zimbabwe, we are the breakfast. Listen up.
I'm slanging at the nation, back again with the remix selection. From London to Zimbabwe, all the Africans know we stop the party. And if you know it, put one out in the air. Scream and shout like you just don't care. African people, if you're strong and proud, repeat after me and say, we are Africans. We are Africans. We are Africans. Zimbabwe. Yeah, we are Africans. We are Africans. We are Africans.
I am an African child. Zimbabwe is where I be from. They be checking my style, my swag, my flow. Can't push me cause I know I'm sweet. Got diamonds and gold in Africa, rhythm and blues in Africa, beautiful women in Africa.
From Zimbabwe, all of my trade in the street of Ferrari, but I was born in Mazingo, and that's why me talking a lingo. Impai, Kananga Nyimbo, Mripam Wichete, na PK Kaz and JJC, we one big family, because we are Africans. We are Africans. We are Africans. Zimbabwe, yeah, we are Africans. We are Africans. We are Africans. Come on,
from Africa. King Selassie rule from Malta, Africa. The best body girl come from Africa. All the diamonds and gold from Africa. 27 years him spent in a prison just to liberate people in Africa. Nelson Mandela. From Niger to Zimbabwe, UK back to Africa.
We never culture rare as denial. Everybody on the African style. Our music make you go wild. I know you get it, get it. We flex, we dress to impress. We call for the best, put us to the test. And it ain't no stress, no settle for less. Cause we are Africa.
From today, JJC, I'm from Nigeria. It doesn't matter to even where you are. And if you have no